Picture, if you will, a slice of bread. It can be any kind of bread you want. Whole wheat, rye, sourdough, whatever comes to mind. Got it? Okay, good. Now, did the slice of bread you pictured look anything like this? Well, probably not. But believe it or not, this is bread. It's a type of unleavened bread, which for 1 week out of the year is the only type of bread God permits His people to eat. Confused? Well, let me explain. In our previous video, we learned that Passover reminds us that we were delivered from sin. But that doesn't change the fact that sin is still out there. Being cleared of our past offenses doesn't give us a license to commit future offenses. And that's where the Feast of Unleavened Bread comes in. For 1 week out of the year, followers of God are commanded to remove all leavening from their homes, eating unleavened bread for 7 days. In the original commandment, God warned Israel that anyone who willingly did otherwise would be cut off from among His people. So what's the lesson here? Why is God so strict about the kind of bread we eat during that specific week? Well, it's because of what it pictures. Leavening, like baking soda and yeast, causes dough to rise, to puff up with air, and take the form we traditionally picture when we think of bread. During the Feast of Unleavened Bread, God uses leavening to represent sin, a destructive force that burrows deep within us and fundamentally changes who we are. It's no coincidence that pride, which sits at the root of nearly every sin, causes a human being to be puffed up, just like leavening causes bread to be puffed up. In preparing for the Feast of Unleavened Bread, Christians are reminded of many valuable lessons. Removing leavening from our homes reminds us just how pervasive sin can be. Crumbs can spend a year taking refuge under your sofa cushions, and leavening might be hiding on the ingredients label of your favorite food. So just like physical leavening, the spiritual leavening of sin is sneaky. It actively worms its way into our lives in a variety of clever ways. And we have to be just as active in rooting it out and disposing of it. Another lesson comes from the bread we do eat, unleavened bread. In contrast to leavened bread, unleavened bread is flat. It contains nothing that would cause it to rise or swell up. Plain, humble, and honest. Unleavened bread reminds us that we have to do more than just distance ourselves from sin. We have to take in righteousness. We have to take God's way of life and make it part of who we are on the inside. Physically, we partake of this symbolism for a week, but spiritually, it's something we need to be doing every day of our lives. And when we find sin hiding under the couch cushions or in the favorite foods of our heart, we need to repent to get it out of our lives, and with God's help, replace it with His righteousness. But it doesn't end there. Passover reminds us of the undeserved gift we've been given. Unleavened bread reminds us of what we need to be doing with it. But the next feast, the Feast of Pentecost, reminds us of what God plans on doing with us. To learn about the Feast of Pentecost and what it reveals about God's plan for us, click next to continue watching this series. For further reading, be sure to download our free booklet, From Holidays to Holy Days, God's Plan for You.